God, please kill Peter Parker. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a tier list ranking of the Spider-Man movie villains. This includes the Raimi trilogy, the TASA movies, the MCU movies, and of course the Spider-Verse films. So let us know in the comments down below who your favorite Spider-Man villain is, what tiers they would land in. You excited to talk some Spidey villains?
So excited.
So pumped.
Well, I think we have differing opinions on villains.
It's gonna be interesting, let's just say that much. So hit that like button, comment all your thoughts down below, subscribe to that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 80,000 subscribers here on the channel. Also, I just revamped my Patreon, so be sure to check that out, link down below. I've got a Discord server where we're talking all different topics from Stranger Things to all the movies and shows that are coming out now. Getting extra weekly videos like this one, as well as early access to videos and a weekly live Q&A. Any support goes a long way over there, so check out my Patreon link down below. Let's dive right in. So our tiers today are top 5, amazing, solid, meh, and the worst. Kicking us off, we got Kingpin from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere between amazing and solid. I don't know.
I feel like Into the Spider-Verse, there's villains on to drive the plot, but it focuses mainly on the spider people.
100%.
So I would put him in solid, actually.
It sucks for this version of the character because we have a live-action Kingpin who is so elite from the Daredevil television show.
Yeah.
That when you compare the two, it's like, oh my god, that version of the character
yeah.
blows this one out of the water. So yeah, I'm fine going solid with Kingpin. I think that he is necessary for the story to move forward, but it's so much more about Miles' arc and the spider people. So totally valid. But moving on, we got Vulture. Michael Keaton's Vulture.
Top 5.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Easy.
Easy. He's like one of my favorite outright MCU villains. I talk about this scene every time, but when Peter opens the door, it must be Peter. And I just love Michael Keaton.
Everyone was gagged.
The tension when they're driving around in the car and he's putting the pieces of the puzzle together that Peter's Spider-Man and he's just looking at him in the rear view, and then he's like, Liz, you go ahead. I'm gonna give Pete the old dad.
They're driving, and when the light on him from the stoplight is red, and then it turns green right, and he realizes he's Spider-Man. I love it.
And then he picks up the gun and turns around and he's like, I will kill you. Everyone you love. It's like, I would myself if I was him, so. Moving on, we have the inferior Green Goblin from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Look.
You can just put him...
He's one of the worst.
You can put him in the worst.
He's one of the worst. And, like, it's like, TASM 2 is still enjoyable, but he doesn't need to be in the film. I can't stand the design, and it's just so out of left field that he's included in the movie. So bizarre. Cut him entirely. Just have Electro be the villain. You don't have much to say here?
When I watched TASM 2, I watch it from the viewpoint that they were planning to do the Sinister Six in TASM 3. You can't introduce 4 villains in a movie. They had to get Electro and Green Goblin in TASM 2 so that they could get Vulture and Doc Ock and whoever else in TASM 3.
Fair enough.
That's how I can watch it and understand why he's in the movie and the way that Harry comes back, comes into the storyline. They make it make sense with his dad dying and he comes back from school and stuff. I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's all that good. He's not my favorite part of that movie. I understand that he's bad. A little bit of justice for Dane DeHaan, you know?
Next we have the Spot from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I feel weird placing this villain because he's almost half right now. No, absolutely. That's the word I was looking for.
He apparently has all this power now that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. You would say what?
Solid?
Solid, but
I don't know,
only
meh?
I honestly want to. I think I gotta go meh right now. The Spot is incomplete. He could totally move up. He is weaker than Kingpin. Kingpin was a better villain, and Spot is barely in this movie.
And here's the thing. It's unfair. We haven't seen all of his villainness yet. Even his origin story is stupid. No offense. It's funny in context of the movie, but if you're looking at villains and what makes them villains, and you're looking at the villain overall, his story is a scientist who gets hit by a bagel. In Across the Spider-Verse, he's a villain of the week. In Beyond the Spider-Verse, maybe he'll be a better villain, but right now he's just a villain of the week.
Yeah. Then we got Electro. Worth noting, this is the first villain who makes an appearance in TASM 2 and also No Way Home, so we're talking about them as a whole. I just chose a picture here from TASM 2. I would say if we're looking at everything from his intro in this film, TASM 2, to his conclusion in No Way Home, I'd be willing to go solid above Kingpin.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I don't hate Electro. I mean, he's the best villain in that movie.
I actually
The other
really
two
like
are really
Electro.
bad in TASM 2.
I personally really like Electro.
He's not amazing. He's not top 5.
Yeah,
solid.
I was worried I was going to have to fight you to put him in solid below Kingpin.
No, he's better than Kingpin.
Good word.
Yeah. This character, goofy as hell at times in that first movie, but especially because we get to count No Way Home, that boosts him.
I like him in TASM 2.
Next we have Rhino. Rhino sucks.
You put him in the worst. Where is he below Dane DeHaan? Yes.
I think he's worse than Dane DeHaan. He's
He is.
literally just a screaming Russian man in a big metal
I
suit.
give you now. You want to come here
It's
and
Paul
fight me?
Giamatti, though. So this is a question I want to get your answer on. If it's the worst of worst, would it go back here or would it go here?
Back
Right
there.
here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know why that category always trips me out for some weird reason.
I don't know why either.
That is the worst as it stands right now, but I think it's about to get topped because we have Goblin in Into the Spider-Verse who doesn't speak.
I didn't even know that there was a...
Yeah, technically this is a version of Green Goblin. I can't stand the character design. I can't stand the existence of it. Yeah, it's the most bizarre thing, but this character is Into the Spider-Verse. Give us a real Green Goblin. Like, give us a Norman Osborn in a suit type variant like we see in the live action films. Give us that in Beyond the Spider-Verse and a potential Sinister Six. Then we're cooking. This was not it, in my opinion.
Cooking.
This was not it. The real Green Goblin is up next, though.
Top 5.
Top 5 above Vulture, for sure. He's the GOAT
best.
Spider-Man
He's
villain.
the best Spider-Man villain.
He's the most iconic. He's the first, which doesn't make him automatically the best, but he is.
He's
and
the best.
Willem Dafoe full sends, and then he comes
Willem
back
Dafoe 8.
years later and full sends and damn near tops his performance.
Oh,
The
yeah.
way that he's just maniacally laughing when Tom is punching him, he goes, and he's just like smiling.
Willem Dafoe actually kind of scares me. I don't know if I could ever meet him in person. Yeah, I can't whistle.
And he
so.
takes out his little, God, he's so good and strong enough to have it all, too weak to take it.
You just know that a lot of the Green Goblin stuff is improvised because of him.
Yeah.
And he brings everything to that character, so he's just the best.
He has all the iconic quotes from the first Spider-Man. He comes back and steals the show in No Way Home as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the other Spideys, he is like one of the most memorable parts of that movie. Norman's on sabbatical, honey. Next we have the Prowler from Into the Spider-Verse. Technically a villain. Uncle Aaron, going to the dark side, has a little moment at the end with Miles that's really upsetting. I would say it's difficult to place because I view Uncle Aaron and the Prowler so separately almost, but I would say he's in the solid bare minimum. Possibly amazing, I don't know.
I want to put him in amazing. The concept of it is cool. Spider-Man normally has his Uncle Ben that dies, and Uncle Ben is just this great character and so wholesome and sweet. Miles' uncle who dies is a villain. I like the concept of him having to go through that struggle of, oh my god, my uncle, but also he was literally just trying to kill me. Am I supposed to feel bad? I do feel bad, he's my uncle, but also he was a bad person. And so I like the concept of that back and forth. So I would put him in amazing.
We'll go amazing. That's fine with me. Really sad final moments he has with Miles. So next we have Doc Ock. Top 5, number 2, right behind
Yes.
our boy Willem. I love how they bring him back in No Way Home, and he finally gets to have like a moment with Tobey, where he is like, how have you been? He's back to normal. It brought it full circle. It actually makes me appreciate his like sacrifice in Spider-Man 2 even more than I already did.
It almost feels wrong calling him a villain just because in Spider-Man 2, he's barely there the whole time. Like, for most of the movie, we're focused on Tobey. So he's a villain for like a little bit, right? And then he gets better. And then in No Way Home, he's a villain for a little bit, and then he's fixed, and he's a good guy. So I almost feel bad calling him a villain.
He is, and that's what makes a good villain though. He is
I
a
know.
good guy who's corrupted by his life's work failing him.
He's corrupted by his little fake spine.
Yeah, so I would say definitely top 2 Spider-Man villain right there. Then we've got Harry Osborn, who goes villain for a little bit of Spider-Man 3 in his version of Goblin. I say amazing.
I want to go top 5.
Top 5.
I'm looking at the rest of this. I don't see who else we're putting in top 5 besides. You gotta have 5 in your top 5.
Ooh, okay. I would say this is, but we can have that
He's
debate later.
So boring. I think about him, his whole arc with Peter, the friends, kind of friends, all that stuff. His dad dying, him going through his own thing, and then the resolution of it with him being good
Yeah.
and helping Peter and saving him, and I just think he's great.
I think so too, especially his sacrifice.
His sacrifice at the end is what bumps him into the top 5 for me.
It's beautiful, yeah. Because I love how in Spider-Man 2, he's like, I want to kill Spider-Man, and then the reveal happens, and it bleeds into it. It comes full circle, definitely. You've convinced me. I'll go top 5 for
He's
now.
bottom of top 5 for
Yeah.
sure, but
He'll remain there, but
I like him.
he is, yeah, I do, and Franco plays the character really well. But moving on, we've got Lizard, who I'm surprised you weren't trying to push for the top 5.
I would never try to make you put him in the top 5.
I don't hate his guts. You act like I do. He's kind of mid at times, not gonna lie, but I think that he's amazing. He's better than Electro. Thinking about it, like on this recent rewatch, he is easy to relate to.
Yeah,
He's
he's
trying
very
to
sympathetic.
he's a sweet man, and then he kind of like
He's
most
literally
Spider-Man villains gets corrupted by
A sweet,
technology or
crippled
something.
man, and then he just wants to create science, and Norman Osborn is shutting down his production.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to get his human results, because he is a scientist and that's what scientists do, and it doesn't work out for him, and it's sad.
I would go top of amazing then. We'll do that. We're gonna have an argument here, it seems. Flint Marko, Sandman, he's top 5 for me.
He is so boring.
He's so top 5 for me.
Why?
Why? Because he's so easy to relate to. We just talked about how the lizard is. He has a family, and his daughter is like sick, and it literally is explained that he like is trying to support her and make money for her. He goes to jail. The way they retcon him in with the Uncle Ben death, that he's the one who accidentally killed him and didn't even want to. And then at the very end, when Peter forgives Flint, it's this beautiful moment. He's like, all I have left is my daughter. The CGI of the character is pretty solid. When he's reaching for the locket, that's a heartbreaking moment. The Sandman's theme is great, and I really think that within the context of Spider-Man 3's top 5, No Way Home, he's there to be a body. But in Spider-Man 3, I think that he's top 5.
I think I feel the same way about Sandman that you feel about Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin. Whereas when I watch Spider-Man 3, I'm like, why is he in this movie? Just me personally.
Okay.
I know that's gonna be a hot take. It's just like, it's a lot.
May I rebuttal here?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's in the movie because it's pivotal to the arc that Peter goes on with like forgiveness and redemption, because when Peter gets the symbiote suit, he gets like revenge ridden. He's vengeance filled almost. And like even in the first film, we see that early in that Tobey version of the character where he chases down the guy who he assumed had killed Uncle Ben. And so Flint is almost like an opportunity for Peter to come full circle and be like, I'm gonna forgive you for actually killing Uncle Ben. And that's the beauty of that character, to me at least. He was meant to be the main villain of the movie, and they did not need to have Venom in, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Sandman, like, it wouldn't have worked if it was just Harry. Mm-hmm. So having Sandman is really important to me.
I'm fine with you putting him in Amazing, and I'm fine with you putting him at the top of Amazing. For me, he's just not top 5.
Then we have an interesting discussion for who's going to fill out the top 5, because he's better than the next villain, and the rest are kind of.
Oh, I was going to put the next one in top 5.
So I'll make the editors cut my decision.
Well,
I'm putting him in top 5.
Can I make an argument for Mysterio?
You can. I'm going to put him here for now. Actually, over Harry.
Okay.
Right here for now, and then I want to hear your rebuttal for Mysterio. He's amazing for me.
We're looking at the villains. I think we as a society also have to look at the actors' performances in all films. Unfortunately, regardless of if he was brought into the studio or not, we do have to look at Sandman's performance in No Way Home and how they portrayed him in No Way Home. We do have to remember when he's like, what'd you do? Did you just kill him? I don't trust you.
Okay.
You have to look at that.
Yeah.
You can't just ignore it because you don't want to see it. Even though we knew that Mysterio's a villain, the little twist in Far From Home is fun. You know, it means a lot if I'm defending Far From Home.
I like Mysterio a lot.
Not my favorite Spider-Man movie in the
saying
slightest. I think Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is 1,000,000% in the top 5 of all the villains. Like, his performance is just amazing. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is so good.
I think his performance is amazing as well. I just think that this card's been pulled on me so many times, and I'm about to pull it on you, and you're gonna have to eat it as a borderline MCU Spidey hater. Is he a Spider-Man villain in the movie, or is he Tony Stark's villain? I've heard that a million times, and I'm always like, and so I'm kind of doing a little reverse card, Uno.
I mean, you can be both.
I know you can. I just wanted to play devil's advocate.
Tony's not there, so Mysterio's gonna take out his revenge on Spider-Man. So Peter's getting the repercussions.
Here's the deal.
Of that.
Here's the deal. Mysterio over Prowler. Mysterio over Lizard. So we can go either top of Amazing, or we can go in the top 5. We'd have to kick one of these two out, however.
I don't know. Sandman's story, I just think, doesn't get to me.
It is unfortunate that he's in this overcrowded movie. I think he's a really great Spider-Man villain.
I feel like he just doesn't really do anything until the end of the movie, does he? He like shows up for a little. He turns into sand, and then we don't see him for like 30 minutes. Yeah. Then he shows up to steal money, ? And then we don't see him again for another 30 minutes. Yeah. And then he shows up at the end, and we turn him into glass, and then Peter forgives him, and that's the end of the movie.
You're not wrong.
He's like not really there all the time, but Mysterio is like the core of Far From Home. Far From Home would be such a worse and impossible to watch movie if Mysterio and Jake Gyllenhaal were not in it. Imagine that movie with the actual villains being the elementals. Yeah. And Mysterio doesn't exist. It was just real elementals. It would be the worst Spider-Man movie ever.
It would be trash.
It would be awful.
It already is the worst Spider-Man movie, but these 3 I'm so sold on. So we have a little discussion here before we can move on. The rest are pretty mid, I'm not gonna lie, so that's why we can get through them quickly. I guess we're just gonna have to compromise somehow, because I can't budge on him being in the top 5.
What if we put Harry at top of Amazing? Would you be okay with Mysterio being over Sandman in the top 5?
No.
Dude, what do you...
Sandman's better than Mysterio as a villain.
I find him so boring.
Mysterio's funny. And it's like, oh, barf.
Maybe that's why I don't
like
like Sandman, because he doesn't give me humor ever.
Yeah, he's a serious villain.
I don't like that. That's so
Jake
boring.
Gyllenhaal was like a hero for half the movie, which I get there's a whole twist there, and I do enjoy his performance as Mysterio.
You also have to think about the fact that
and
Mysterio literally revealed
He
Peter
does.
Parker's identity to
He
the
does.
world.
He does.
He ate with that.
He did.
It's like the most villainous thing
Yeah.
anybody's ever done.
Look, if we're looking at this, I'm more comfortable moving Harry out of the top 5.
He's honestly,
than Sandman.
that's the most villainous. So many Spider-Man villains find out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and none of them ever reveal his identity, but Mysterio did.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's figure this out. I'm sweating.
A compromise would be putting Harry in Amazing and putting Mysterio over Sandman.
We'll do that.
The compromise is that you
Putting
want
him here?
Sandman in the top 5, and
Okay.
I don't want him in the top 5 at all, so he should be at the bottom of the top 5.
There it is. Next we have Tombstone, worst. Next we have Scorpion, worst right here. Next we have Doc Ock.
I think she's solid. I think she's above Kingpin.
Really?
Yeah, I like her. She's funny.
All right, I'm gonna pull a card on you. You just pull to me. What does she do in the movie? You were here talking about Sandman. She's in the movie for the one damn scene where they steal the PC, and other than that, she just disappears.
Oh, does she?
To my knowledge.
I still think she's solid. You can put her below Kingpin.
Yeah,
The
right
difference
here's
is-
fine.
the
Honestly,
reason-
no. Spot's better. Spot is better. I'm putting her here.
Okay.
Yeah, Spot's better.
Okay, damn.
He's gonna take down Miles' whole life essentially,
Okay, damn.
and he's funny.
Okay.
There you have it.
I got you.
Last but not least, Venom, Topher Grace. For the memes alone, he's better than any of these bums. He's better than any of these bums. I would honestly say he's in the mad tier.
Like, why do I kind of want to put him at the bottom of solid?
It's
I
tempting,
think
right?
Topher.
You
before he
want to
even-
know why? God, please kill Peter Parker.
I think even before he gets the Venom symbiote, I think Topher is so funny in that movie.
He's so funny.
He's like he's a standout for me in that movie. I like him in that movie.
I think it's because of our attachment to that 70s show. I watched that 70s show after this. I was like, that's Venom in that 70s show. I would go, the highest I'd go is back of solid, probably.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, honestly, because he's such a meme.
He's so funny.
Such a meme. Oh man, I'm fine with that. So yeah, that's our tier list ranking of the villains. We got a good debate in there. What do you guys think? What tiers would you place these villains in? Let us know in the comments down below. Hit that like button. Where would the Spot place?
Yeah. Feel free to let me know if I'm crazy about Sandman or not.
It'll be
I don't know.
No, I think I might be in the minority on that one. Who
Are you
knows?
sure? I feel like you might not be.
I think
feel
people
like-
think Sandman's one of the best parts of Spidey 3. I agree.
I think I'm in the minority of many of Spider-Man opinions.
Let us know all your thoughts down below, your ranking. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Subscribe to Cam's channel. All of her stuff is linked down below. Stay tuned for more content coming very soon. And until next time, see you guys later.